right, so we are back. We're not even going to call this episode 12. We're going to call this like 11A or an interlude or something.
11.1?
Yeah, 11.1, the Re-invention. Unfortunately, last week we had a great, I'd call it, podcast. Great episode.
It was fantastic. We actually figured out the problem of immortality, and we all forgot as soon as we walked out of the room, but it didn't record.
It was quite unfortunate. We had a great story. We had
Cure for cancer.
How many people was in here? It was
185.
in our little studio here, the quote unquote small conference room, it was filled with guests. We had String Bean, we had Lucky Dog, Jazzy Pickle, which is a new guy. Nate Chaboy was here, and new girl Jess. We had everyone in the building.
Everyone was participating too.
And it was fantastic. And when we went to edit and upload, it was 42 minutes of space. Nothing.
Yep.
Silence.
You know, I think it was the CIA who has the office above us.
Valid point. Yes, there's some weird shit going on upstairs.
Yes, it is.
I'd be interested to actually hit 4 on the elevator, just to, as a mistake.
You mistakenly walk out to,
even though we're saying this, it's being recorded.
Oh yeah,
maybe.
Well, they got Faraday cages and everything up there. You have dead zones in the building because, I mean, you have, what are they controlling, nuclear subs up there?
I have no idea. I was here on a weekend once, and some guy came up, and he had like a lab coat on, and he hops out of the car, and he's got like this package of I don't know what the hell it was. And so I asked him, hey, it's weekend. Like, you guys are open on the weekend? He's like, oh yeah, we're always open. And he's like, I have blood samples.
Oh,
and I'm thinking, blood samples just randomly coming to this building? And he took them on. Took them on up to the 4th floor, and then he came back and went on about his business.
Zombie apocalypse is starting in this.
It's starting here. Dead inside.
Dead inside.
I don't know. I think they're back to doing some sort of construction again, because we keep hearing all that banging and all sorts of nonsense.
They set up a crane outside that I didn't see move or remove anything.
Right, and had the whole parking lot blocked off last week.
So what did they construct up there? Adam Warlock's up there inside of a capsule.
I will call him Adam.
Oh, yeah, man.
It's interesting because, we were the first ones in this building, and it's been 10 years now, but we were the first ones in the building, and then slowly but surely someone moved into the 2nd floor.
Mm-hmm.
A couple different people moved into the 2nd floor, and some moved on the 1st, and the 4th was still just open for a while.
I still think they had stuff going on without people knowing.
Well, they finally came through and then started doing a whole shit ton of just construction, and the whole building was shaking. It was nuts. And it was actually around the time when we had that earthquake, the one that some people, conspiracy theories, say it wasn't an earthquake. They were blowing up an underground bunker or some shit. But anyway.
Maybe.
It was
might be working on that, what is that, like Geostorm?
Yeah, all that good stuff.
The satellites that control the weather, control earthquakes.
Yeah, we got to dig to the core in order to...
we got to restart the core of the Earth.
Yes, all the stupid movies. Goodness gracious.
Oh, man. Well, dude, speaking of earthquakes.
Yeah.
Yesterday, we had one of these random summer lightning storms roll through, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been real humid here. Well, as we're checking the app to see where the storm is, the radar above us, there's an extra story. And they're calling it, I'm trying to think what it was called. It was like mini quick apocalypse or something like that. I love it. In LA, there's been, in the past couple days, over 1,000 miniature earthquakes
Really?
Yeah. And they're like, oh, we don't. It's not anywhere near any of the major fault lines.
Yeah, it's no.
So it's not likely it's going to be a major thing happening. But usually that's sometimes an indicator of a larger earthquake about to happen, dude. Dude, get the rock and send them out there flying out to San Andreas right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's the kind of shit that you see in the movies, and then,
it's just going to happen. And it's going to be like, uh-oh.
Armageddon.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
the rock will be flying around in a helicopter trying to save people. That whole thing. I mean, get some boats out there, speedboat through. Didn't he, speedboat into, a building that fell down? Oh, let's go through this open window over here. Horrible film.
We're on the 64th floor.
I think he was looking for his daughter or something.
I know my daughter's on the 75th floor of this building. Good thing the water level's at the 65th floor right now.
Yeah, terrible. Goodness gracious.
I'm gonna jet ski up the stairwell.
Oh man, I love ridiculous movies. I actually watched Murder Mystery on Netflix the other day.
Just watched it myself.
Yeah. Did you enjoy it? We're not going to spoil it for anyone, but we'll just say that it's one of those campy, ridiculous, hilarious films.
Absolutely.
Highly recommend. Right after you listen to this podcast. After, crack open your Netflix app, go to Murder Mystery. You will not be disappointed. Trust us on this one. It's great. And it's not long at all. It's like 100. It's like an hour and 20 minutes.
An hour and 20 minutes, and it's a nice, easy watch.
Easy watch.
It's a very easy watch.
Yeah. Adam Sandler.
Jennifer
Aniston.
Which, by the way, this was I'm going to paraphrase quote the old wifey. Mm-hmm. She's like, man, Adam Sandler with rocking a beard? Or mustache and beard, or whatever that facial hair is, it's a good look for him. He's automatically, this movie's gonna be better than most of his other films.
Yeah, it's same deal. When I turned it on, because we always have this thing where we'll say, okay, let's do Netflix tonight. You pick, or you pick. So we go back and forth with who picks, and I picked it, and first thing main chick said was, you don't like him. Why are we watching this movie? You don't like him. And I had to explain that I don't dislike him, but I dislike when he does that baby talk shit in some of the movies that he does.
You're talking about his Billy Madison?
That stuff is what I don't like. But when he's just playing a regular human being, even a goofy human being, like in this film, I enjoy it. So I enjoy that, and of course Pixels, he was good in that.
Okay, yeah.
So stuff like that, and so I don't mind him in those movies. But when he gets to that baby talk shit, can't do it.
Come on, man, baby talk's great.
You like it? Can't do it. Can't do it.
Oh man.
But yeah, but the whole purpose behind this particular podcast was just it's my apology to the listeners,
to the world,
for
all the cures that we came up with and developed in here,
for everything that we came up with. Like, we had a discussion about putting a 5-year term contract on marriage,
a lease on marriage.
That we may have to revisit that, because it was actually a pretty great discussion.
Yep.
And I don't want to ruin it for anyone out there who we really need to hear that. And again, I thought about it some this weekend, pardon me, how distraught I was that the damn thing didn't record. I was sitting there thinking of all the different ways we can make sure that never happens again. All right, so should we live stream these damn things just in case the audio cut out? We'll have the video, and we can just rip the rip the sound from the video. Do we have to upgrade our equipment? Because the budget, that budget that we have is just through the roof. We can pretty much do whatever we want.
Yeah. I mean, we're a couple of VCs in Silicon Valley over here.
Damn right. Yeah. We're in a Bitcoin era, or what is it, Libra, whatever the hell the new Facebook thing is. I don't. Maybe that's one thing we should start having experts on. Maybe we'll get an expert in the Bitcoin area to come on and explain that shit to us, because I know it's been around for quite some time, but there's a whole bunch of different types and sites, and
you can't really mine for it. It's such a fictional thing. Well, then again, what is paper money?
Yeah,
but fictional currency.
Right. It's supposed to be backed by gold and the National Reserve, but
really, it's not. It's backed by confidence.
Right. Whatever
confidence
you have in it. Yeah. Well, even if you look at it like that, how much paper money do you have as opposed to digital? You know what I mean? So we pay a lot of bills. Just in the webosphere, you log on, click, to some site, and then you type in some random numbers, or you have it set up to automatically deduct from some account. You know what I mean? So you don't really have that paper money. Unless you go to the barbershop or something like that.
Well, yeah, you got at least have $5 to do a tip.
Yeah, so that type of thing. But you're right. It's all fictional. It's all not real like it used to be.
Yeah.
So I guess
we gotta go back to the system of
Bitcoin is the same.
Of I will barter by giving you. I have 10 bales of hay, and I'll go ahead and give you that for 2 buckets of apples.
Yes, the barter system. I actually had an idea for a book or a short story on just that idea of same deal today, doing that today, working on the barter system. So you work to trade, as it were. So there's no payment. So you work, and the work that you do helps the next person, which helps the next person. So everybody is all working together to get that done. And that's trademark. That's trademark, by the way. So don't go out and try to write that shit and then say it's yours.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all his. He just came up with it during this podcast, which we're both a part of. So I own 10% of the rights of that idea.
Works for me.
All right, 10%. You heard it here, folks.
That's right. So don't be out there trying to rip our shit. We will sue.
Yeah.
I just saw, speaking of that, and again, we are just batshit crazy and all over the place. Speaking of suing, someone is suing Carrie Underwood over the Sunday Night Football theme song.
Why?
Now, this is what she claims. She claims that she met up with Carrie Underwood's producer or agent or something and said, hey, I got a song that I think you guys would like. And this guy told her to send it to his assistant. She sends the song to the assistant. A couple months later, she gets some information back saying, hey, we're going to pass on this. Then, lo and behold, last year when they changed the song and that new song came about, she said, holy shit, that's my song. I'm suing. Now, the thing about this is she uploaded her song on YouTube like 2 or 3 years ago. If you click on that song and listen to it versus the song that Carrie Underwood is doing on Sunday Night Football, she may in fact have a case. It is pretty damn similar.
In what way? Inflection of voice?
And the tone and some of the lyrics and all of it. I mean, I don't know if we're allowed to play it here. I probably could pull it up and play it, but you'll see. Once we're done here, we'll go back and we'll I'll let you listen to it, and then you can give me your thoughts.
Well, I mean, I think the thoughts on all these frivolous lawsuits.
Oh, frivolous
lawsuits. It's really all it is it's most of the time it's just a scam. It's, hey, I'm going to sue you, and I'll put some huge number because that's how much your song or the rights of that song is worth. And rather than you pay $100,000 in court fees, you're just going to settle and give me $10,000, and bada bing, bada boom, it goes away, and all it is a scam.
But what if it's true?
If it's true, well,
You think she'll see it all the way through, or will she just take that?
If it's true, she'll see it all the way through because then it's worth a lot more than a settlement.
That's true because of course she's suing Carrie Underwood. She's also suing NBC and the NFL. So it's a lot of names being put in there. But then once you start getting into the bigger corporations, I think the bigger corporations will be the ones that will be willing to settle faster than anything else. Of course, by the same token, they could. If it were me, I would work a deal to where, of course, probably get a couple dollars, but I think the recognition of it itself would be more. Because even if you watch when the show, when the game is coming on, and that opening part is happening, they do have credits rolling. Like it'll say produced by and stuff like that. So they could, hey, put my name up there saying it's a song written by, and then we go from there. And also give me $10,000.
Yeah, all part of the settlement.
Yeah, and let me rock one of your games. Let me get that AFC Championship game.
I'll take royalties and back paid royalties.
Yeah, just give me a couple dollars. That's all I'm asking for, not much. But yeah, so I always think things like that are interesting, especially because kind of like we were just talking, right? So let's just say that what I just talked about, the book that I did that I had, suppose that's already a book. And now someone's listening to this podcast like, that son of a bitch, that's my idea, I did it. Or vice versa, suppose a book comes out a year from now and I see it and I'm like, well, holy shit, that's my, you know what I mean? So it's always, it's weird. It's weird that, a lot of people have the same ideas and the same thoughts and the same inclinations. Of course, we see that in Hollywood all the time, where lots of the same films are always released right around the same time. It's the same shit.
Oh, that studio's coming out with a Armageddon type of movie. We got to get ourselves a Deep Impact.
Yeah. So it's all the same stuff. I took a writing class at one point, and one of the things in there was that like everything is all set up the same. You have the antagonist, the protagonist, and
there's only so many ways you can tell a story.
Right. So that's always interesting. But however, saying that, still, if something was published, like her video, her song is published somewhere, and then she legit sent it to someone, and it's always, if she in fact did get the email back saying, hey, we're gonna pass on this, then okay, somebody actually got the song and listened to it. Now what happened after that, it's up to interpretation. But if that paper trail is there and video trail is there,
then again, there's a whole bunch of terms of services depending on what video platform you're uploading on. It becomes public property at certain times, depending on where you upload it.
Well, that was YouTube, so I think you still have your intellectual properties there. But then, I guess you can get into when she sent them the track. Was it for them to use, with no intent for her to get anything from it? Was it a gift?
Was it?
Look at us. We're like
I got an idea.
We're like a crack staff of lawyers over here.
Hey, we're doing the legwork for you guys.
Yeah, don't worry about it. We got you covered.
Oh man.
Yeah, so all that stuff is quite interesting to me, but we'll see how it goes. Now we're saying all that, and we're still saying don't use our shit, and then don't sue us either. So
yeah,
that's that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Otherwise, this podcast will probably get bankrupted.
Yeah, we can't have that. All the monies and cash that we're making off of this thing.
It's a lot coming in,
and we can retire at any point. Just do this full time. Just podcast constantly full time.
Yeah, it's very lucrative business.
It is. We rich, bitch.
The hell was that?
Remember that from Dave Chappelle show?
I do remember Dave Chappelle. Oh man.
Yes.
Oh shit.
Classic show. Great show.
Yep, for sure. Not many great shows left out there.
Yeah. Now that I think about it, even the ones that I enjoy a lot and watch, I wouldn't even consider them great shows. They have potential. At one point they were, and we're looking at You, Walking Dead, and Fear the Walking Dead. They were, but now it's just, I think they've become kind of caricatures of themselves now. They're not as great. The writing isn't as great.
Well, the problem is the writing across the board is of pure cowardice.
Well, there's that, yeah.
I have the network over here pressure me. If I can take this 2 seasons I have perfectly written, and I mean it's expertly done. I mean it is the best of the best. But stretch that to 4 seasons, I make an extra $100 million.
That's a valid point.
Just don't go to the extreme of some shows going, well, we got some other stuff to do. Let's just get this thing over with and not tell the story and just hit you with the highlights. Not saying any names. If you got what I'm saying.
Oh. I think I got it. I think. And that's one of those ones that I've never seen anyway. At some point I will. I just saw that they are working on the prequels or some shit.
There's apparently 3 shows that are being pitched. 2 of which sound like they might get picked up.
Interesting. All with HBO, or are they looking to do other things?
I would think it's with HBO, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's another thing that trying to build all these worlds and on TV and things like that. You have the Chicago shows. You have the what is it? Law and Order shows and
CSI shows.
Yeah. Sometimes it just gets a bit much.
Well, it gets a bit repetitive.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And sometimes it works. I'm a fan of 2 of the Chicago shows. So Fire and Med and the PD. I only really get into that if it tends to bleed over into one or the other 2. So it's they do their crossover events.
Yeah.
Which ends up it's not as bad as it could be, which I'm glad, so they'll have a character or 2 pop over into the other show as opposed to having, they're all on in the same night, so it's not a 3-hour episode.
Yeah. You have all your different little mini crossovers all in the same universe. Well, it's kind of funny talking about universes. So you had Marvel create a cinematic universe for movies, and now everyone's trying to mimic that. Granted, you can argue there were things like Star Wars already had their own universe created for the movies, and a lot of things were considered canon with that.
Right.
But you really look at TV shows, and I think the only network to ever truly do a universe right, where it's not just, all right, well, we just did Firefighters, let's do this, let's do that. It's all the same thing over and over again, just from different points of view, is the CW. CW and what they did with DC. And somehow DC can't figure it out in the movie universe.
DC's a shit show, man. I don't even understand how they ended up, they're canceling their own shows. How is that possible? How do you cancel your own shit?
I don't know.
That'd be like if we canceled this podcast.
That would be awful. That would be a travesty.
It makes no sense.
It'd be a travesty.
Everyone wants to hear this.
100%.
It makes no sense. I did hear that those CW shows are fantastic, though. And some have even said, why don't they just take that shit and make that into the movies? and just be done with it. But
it's almost like movies are dying because TV shows, especially how they're released now, because networks are dying.
that's true.
You have these streaming services, Prime, you have Netflix, you got all the different streaming services.
Hulu.
They release an entire season all at once. So really, essentially what you're looking at, if it's a 10-episode season, all an hour long, it's a 10-hour movie they just released.
Yep.
With breakpoints.
So convenient.
So convenient, and you can have way better storytelling than a movie you can jam in an hour and a half.
Right. And if they do it right, there's no filler.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually on episode 7 of Jessica Jones. It was just released on Friday, and I watched 4 episodes Friday, and then I guess the other 2.5 last night. So yeah, yeah, that's my life. Don't judge me, okay? But yeah, and it's just easier. It's convenient. You're in and out. You're done. You don't have to. We have some of these shows now that does the break. So they'll give you 8 episodes in a row, and then we're just going to take a break for 6 months, and then we'll come back and give you the other 8.
i.e. The Blacklist. Great show. I lost track of where it even broke up and where they came back and started doing new episodes again. So then guess what? It's gone.
You're out of it now?
It's out of it. I'm out of it. It disappeared on a black site and it's gone. It might be upstairs right now above us. Just hidden up there.
Yeah, they screwed it up because they changed the days of it, of course.
Confused the hell out of everybody.
Right. And then it got, I think at the end of the last 2 seasons, they didn't know if it was going to come back. So they kind of sort of tried to wrap it up, but you can't really wrap it up if you're going to come back. So they left some things open. But even this past season, the entire season, Liz didn't even have her child, which was the whole point of the previous season. Is like she was trying to be out of it so she could be safe with her child, and then the whole last season didn't even have the damn thing. So maybe mentioned once or twice. And then she lost her job, got it back, but not really.
Weird.
It was just all over the place. And then it's coming back for another season. So I don't even know what the fuck's going on.
I said, well, easy. We get rid of networks.
Completely.
Just get rid of networks. Just get rid of them. You release the whole thing in one full season, all at once, all or nothing.
Just done. Game, set, match.
All or nothing. I mean, what the hell? You're going to have the same runtime. Instead, if you're going to do an hour per week, people are going to tune in for an hour, turn it off. Turn it in for an hour, turn it off. Well, guess what? You're going to lose viewership if it's the age of the binge.
Age of the binge. I like that. You might want to hashtag that.
Hashtag age of the binge.
Yeah. People should binge this freaking podcast.
Age of the binge. We got you 11.1 episodes. Oh, man.
And you love them. You will love them. And you tell us all about it. You know what I was thinking? What we need to do, because we don't have an actual place for people to comment or to post their questions or things they want us to talk about. So we need to come up with some sort of social media spot for them.
Either instead of Instagram?
I'm thinking Instagram.
Instagram's easy.
I'm thinking we're doing it for the gram.
Yeah, because hell, we could have these our podcast being broadcast on Instagram Live in a story.
And there it is.
Boom.
Done deal. We're going to set that up today. Get that out today.
Mm-hmm.
Should we call it STD? Or
No.
Or actually Second Take Disputed Podcast.
We got to get that blue check mark because there's going to be a lot of people. We got to get that certified check mark.
I like it. I like the way you're thinking.
Going to be a lot of people trying to mimic.
Sons of bitches. Well, we'll create that before we upload this podcast, so none of you son of bitches can try to snatch it from us.
Yeah, don't follow anybody unless you see the certified check mark.
Unless you see our faces.
Yeah, true.
That's true. All right.
Oh, man.
Well, this was fun. But again, I just wanted to jump on and say that I'm sorry we didn't properly come up with episode 12. Be looking for that next week because we're going to get everyone back in here.
Dude, this Instagram idea is fantastic because guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, when you see our official Instagram business account go up, the first couple posts are all going to be mini dossiers of each personality that has their personalities on this show.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking.
Yeah, how about that?
Look at that. Look at that. Handsome Shrek. You son bitch. You smart man.
Oh, man.
All right, kids. So we are out. And we'll get this up. And then we'll get episode 12 out to you next week. Say goodnight, Handsome Shrek.
Good night, Handsome Shrek.
Good night, everyone.